Yes team, welcome back to another daily YouTube video. In today's video, I'm going to be going over why changing your training split is keeping you small or why it's ruining your training altogether. Now, first things first, if you're somebody that is constantly changing their training, one day you're doing push-pull legs, then a couple of weeks later you're running upper lower, and then you go back to the bro split because you love bro splits, and then you're training a bit of arms here, and then sometimes you're just going in there and just training by feel. You are never going to make much progress past a certain point. Facts. Everybody you see that has a great physique, there is always some structure to their training, okay? We need to keep our training plan the same for a lot longer than people think. Now, guys, I'm a coach online. My whole job isn't just making videos, it's coaching men and coaching women to get in shape, okay? And I'm guilty of this, where I've got to change people's training plans around way sooner than I want to because people get bored. But if you're not somebody who can stick to a plan for a prolonged period of time, you're never going to have a great physique. If we think about building a great chest, yeah, this is mostly men watching this. We all kind of want to have a bigger chest. Let's just say you want bigger pecs, okay? You know really deep down that if you're bench pressing 60 kilos for 10, by the time you can bench press 140 kilos for 10, you're going to be considerably bigger in your pecs, right? Or if you're dumbbell pressing 25 kg dumbbells for 12 reps, by the time you can do 45 kilo dumbbells for 12 reps, I think we both know your pecs, anterior head of your delt, and your triceps will be a whole lot bigger. The only way you're going to do that is by drilling the dumbbell press or the bench press. Probably wouldn't pick the flat bench, by the way, but another topic. By drilling it over and over and over and over again for years and years and years with the calories to go with it. Okay, so with the surplus, with the bulk, with the cut, everything that comes with it. If you go into the gym, how many of you are guilty of this? I know so many of you are going to watch this and go, oh shit, yeah, he's talking about me. You go into the gym that day, do a bit of bench press, do some flies, do some incline, do decline push-ups here, boom, 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 or decline flies. The next time you go in there, I saw this, I'm gonna go shoulder press today, I'm gonna go dumbbells today, then I'm gonna go, high flies, because last week I did low flies, and then the pec deck feels good, so I might do that again. And then you'll notice that if you're constantly changing your training round, but you're always coming back to that pec deck because that's the one you feel in your pecs, I guarantee you the only movement you will progress over those few months is the pec deck. If you want to get more muscle across your whole body, we have to drill the basics. And that means sticking to the same plan. Guys, I run the same training plan for a year. I've been running a push-pull legs upper split probably for about 2 years. Why would I change it if it's working? Because I know in order to build my pecs, I need to progress 2 or 3 pressing movements. I know to build my back, I need to progress 2 or 3 pulling movements. I know to build my quads. Who's going to get bigger quads, yeah? The guy that goes into the gym and one day does Bulgarian split squats and then leg extensions of 20 reps. Then the next week he goes in there, he's doing 6 reps on the leg extension because he wants to go heavy, and then he's doing a hack squat for 6 reps. Then the next week he does a hack squat, but he's doing it for 15 reps. And then he's going back to the leg extension, but now he's doing 12 reps. Then he's finishing on the prowler because he heard the prowler blows his quads up. Then a week later, he's thinking, why don't I go back to back squatting? And then, no, Ronnie Coleman did front squats. I'm going to front squat the week after. This person will never build his quads compared to the guy that just comes in Mondays and Thursdays, I squat. Okay, I'm going to squat in that 6 to 8 rep range or on Mondays and that 8 to 10 rep range on Thursdays. My goal is simple. Get better at the squats, whether it's a hack squat, a pendulum squat, a back squat, a front squat. You drill the movement. The person who can add 30, 40, 50 kilos to their lift will build a considerable amount of muscle with the muscles required to lift that lift, if you get what I'm saying. So this is what I rave about. The basics matter. What do we need when we're trying to build muscle? We need to get stronger at the basics and progress them over time. Yeah, so if you're thinking about your back, it's the chin up or a heavy pull down, it's heavy rows. Thinking about your shoulders, it's heavy presses, heavy lateral raises. Thinking about your pecs, it's some sort of a heavy press, some sort of a heavy fly, maybe some sort of a heavy dip. Thinking about your legs, it's your quads, it's a squat movement, hack squat, pendulum squat, back squat. If we're thinking, a leg press. If you're thinking about your hamstrings, it's probably an RDL or a stiff leg deadlift. We have to drill these movements over time. Please, if you're watching this and you're thinking, fucking hell, yeah, I literally got off a call with a guy today. I said, what's your training split? And he goes, well, you're gonna laugh, but like, do a bit of chest on Mondays, then like, so Tuesdays I start to do a bit of arms, and like, if I'm tired, do a bit of legs. I'm like, right, hold on, you don't have a fucking clue, do you? You don't know what you do. If I said to that person, right, tell me how much weight have you added to your bench press in the last 3 months? He'd just be like, what, bench press? He hasn't got a clue. Please, guys, you don't have to buy my programs, yeah? Link below. You don't have to sign up to me one-to-one for my premium coaching. But if you're gonna listen to me, get a training plan and stick to it for 6 months. And in that time frame, increase your calories over time as you're increasing your lifts over time. And by increasing your calories, you're going to increase your body weight. Increasing calories, increasing body weight tends to mean an increase in strength, but only if you're running the same movements back to back to back. I promise you, if you're running a push-pull legs split and you do the same movements over and over and over again, and you add 10 kilos of body weight, and you add 1,000 calories to your daily calories over 6 months by going 200 calories every few months, you will have considerably more muscle than when you started. And then when you diet down, you don't then just completely change everything. You run the exact same split that built the muscle on the way down. All you do is reduce calories and increase cardio. And your goal is to hold strength as much as possible, because the exercises that built your muscle are the exercises that is going to keep your muscle. When you look at my my medial head and my delts, yeah, so I've got like quite developed shoulders. Yeah, I've literally been lateral raising for 15 years. Like, that is what I have been doing. I do not change it. My shoulder work is an incline bench press. Yeah, I don't overhead press anymore because I keep fucking my neck up. Okay, I've had like 2 bad neck injuries. I just can't be bothered anymore. An incline press, yeah. A dip, there's my front delts cooked. A dumbbell lateral raise and a cable lateral raise for my side delts, and I do rear delt flies for my rear delts. And I have done that for 15 years. And I just have developed shoulders. Same with my pecs, same with my quads, same with my back. My physique is pretty like developed all round. I built that, what I would consider like a complete physique, because I've drilled these movements over time. So please, one takeaway from this, guys, follow the same plan. Now, within that plan, there are going to be times where you're going to want to change things, okay? That's totally fine. Now, if you're running a push-pull legs upper split, okay, or an upper-lower split, and 3-4 weeks in a row, you just cannot progress a lift. Like, let's take the overhead press. It's stuck. 60 kilos for 8, you get 60 for 8, you get 60 for 8, and maybe you go, 60 for 7, and you just can't seem to progress that lift. When you've given it a good go, it's time to swap that lift out for something similar. A dumbbell press, a machine shoulder press, a movement that's similar in this position, okay? And then you're gonna drill that over time for months and months and months and months. Get very good at the movement pattern, get really efficient at the exercise, nail technique and form, nail execution, nail tempo, and in turn, you'll nail more weight over time as well. And then over time, you might come back to that overhead press and then be able to kind of break through that barrier. You don't just say, 3 weeks in, oh, fuck it, I'm just gonna do a complete different split. It takes a few months to nail a movement and then get some good baseline numbers and then start progressing those numbers over time. You keep changing it, guys, you're just gonna look the same. And I know it sounds like I repeat myself on this channel a lot, but I'm really blown away by how little people still know, which means I need to do these videos more than ever. I read the comments sometimes and I'm like, bruh, are you serious? Some of these comments being like, people that go against me being like, well, no, you don't need a surplus to build muscle, or, well, some guy earlier, well, steps don't burn body fat, it's nonsense. I do 20,000 steps a day and I've never lost any weight. Why do you think, you fucking idiot? Because you eat too much food, you clown. Like, I need to keep making these videos. This dude who does 20,000, this is off topic, does 20,000 steps, he doesn't lose any weight. Think about it, guys. Why do you think he's not losing weight? Obviously eating way too much food. He reduces calories, his output's through the roof. He'll obviously lose body fat. If you're somebody that's constantly changing to 15 different chest exercises every few months, you're never gonna build great pecs. You need to nail the basics and get stronger over time. And it seems very simple to me, but people just don't do it. So, if you wanna learn how to train, I have a course below, which is very, very cheap for you guys, where I deep dive into everything building muscle and losing body fat related. If you want a way deeper approach where it's super specific to you as an individual, you can obviously reach out to me for my one-to-one coaching, but please only do that if you're serious. I've had a few people just time wasters on calls. I'm not really into it. All right, guys, if you like this video, let me know what you want me to post. If you want me to answer any of your questions, leave a comment below. I always read them, I always reply. And anytime I get a good question, I literally just come here and film it. I've literally got a whiteboard behind me with 5 different topics I'm about to read off. And a lot of them are questions, so keep asking me. See you in the next one.